It's 7 a.m. in Singapore. For you guys, it's evening, and for Banu, who is joining me, is actually 4:30 a.m. for him. So if we guys are not functioning well, I hope you guys understand. So anyway, as Steve mentioned, I am Jack, head of the product education with RankMath. And prior to joining RankMath, I was actually a blogger, and also I run a YouTube channel on my own under my own name. And I do some fun WordPress stuff over there as well. I'm not sure if you guys know. So anyway, what I'll be doing here is I'll be sharing with you a new way of researching, structuring, and optimizing your content with the help of RankMath's AI system called Content AI. And it's the same content creation process that I've adopted recently, and it has helped me to rank my articles highly on search engines. So it's really a practical use of AI systems for content creation. And since we are on the AI topic, right, some of you guys might have questions about AI writers. What do I stand with? And honestly, I've used AI systems, AI writers extensively, and I find that they are very good for surface information. If you were to ask them to write content that topics that are very common, they are very good at it. They can do listicle style articles and stuff. But when it comes to topics that need real insights, they are just not that good. So as much as I would love to support AI writers, I would prefer somebody to write the content. Now, anyway, I'll be playing a video instead of doing a live demo, because I feel that there are a lot of parts that I want to cover in, especially the parts of optimization. So instead of actually doing the live demo and creating the content from scratch, I would play this video because this video will actually create a content from scratch, but it's in a fast forward manner. And this video is going to be published on our RankMath YouTube channel soon. But I'm not going to play the whole video because it's about half an hour long. So I've cut it down to probably around 15 minutes. So you guys will be the first people who are going to watch this video. And if you have any feedback or something like that, do share it with us. We really appreciate that. And so if you guys are ready, let me share my screen, and then I will play that video. One moment. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes. It's zoomed in a lot, so I'm not sure if that's intentional or not. Like if you play the video, is the video?
Yeah. So what is going to happen now, right, is in this video itself, I am creating content with this topic, best cloth diapers for babies. And then I will run you through the optimization parts on Content AI. So if you have any questions, then we will answer them later on. Okay, so like the country you wish to target, in case your article is written specifically for your local audience is worldwide. So I will select that. Let's hit on research. And let's give Content AI a while to populate the results. Now, what happens here is that Content AI will analyze all the articles that are ranking for the focus keyword, and it will extract all the commonalities and display it here. So as you can see, Content AI recommends that this article should have around 2,405 words to 3,608 words. In some circumstances, if you do some manual calculations by visiting articles on the search engines to determine the word count, the top ranking articles may have more or less than the range that is recommended here. But the key for this word count suggestions is that Content AI indicates the most optimal word count, which means if your article is within the range as suggested, it will have the highest chance of success. But just take note that this is suggestive and not definitive. Doesn't mean that your article length meets the recommended, it will rank. The same goes for the other suggestions as well. Your article's usefulness and depth trumps the word count and all these suggestions. So don't try to write a bunch of fluff or add a bunch of images and links that are not relevant just to reach the suggested. It doesn't work that way. Focus on the quality before optimizing for the quantity. However, if the quantity is below the range, try to compare what others have talked about and see if there's anything that you have missed.
But if the quantity is above the range, try to analyze if your content is concise and if there are a lot of fluff and things unrelated to the topic. You want to remove them. In the end, if you find that your article is good enough to compete with the top ranking articles and it is still not within the suggested range, then you can leave it as it is because you have done your best optimizing your content. Anyway, if you scroll further, Content AI will suggest a list of keywords that you should use in your content. Sometimes you will find keywords that are country specific, sometimes you will find repeated keywords in different forms, and sometimes you will find multiple keywords that mean the same thing. So please do not feel that you have to use all the suggested keywords. These keywords are here to help you with your content to get discovered for relevant search queries. In some cases, it may even guide you to write your content. You should smartly use these keywords by naturally adding them to your content rather than keyword stuffing. We'll talk more about this as I walk you through writing out the content. Anyway, if you notice, as I hover over these keywords, it does pop up with something. In this case, it is showing no data available because these keywords are not that popular, but they are related to the main topic. However, if your main topic is popular, for example, rank math review, you will see these data such as the ad competition, which indicates how competitive the keyword is for advertising campaigns. Businesses will try to bid for the top positions here as somebody types in that particular keyword. The CPC refers to the estimated cost for running a campaign on this keyword, and the volume indicates the estimated number of people searching for this keyword every month. This data is helpful as a gauge to the amount of traffic you will receive if you're ranking for the keyword. Now, if you click on this, you will see Content AI suggesting keywords not only for the content, but also for the headings, for the SEO title, as well as for the SEO description. For the headings, Content AI is suggesting that you should have some form of pros and cons on your recommendations. You should describe the types of cloth diapers, and there is something about all-in-one cloth diapers. For the SEO title, we have 1 out of 3 because of the title of the article, but the rest have the same meaning, but they are just jumbled up. And as for the SEO description, it means you should have these keywords at the start of your article. That's for the keywords. Let's go to the questions. I'm not sure if you know that there is this FAQ schema or markup that you can add to your articles, which allow your article to have this accordion on the search result. It gives your search result more visibility, more context for the searcher, leading to a more positive impact on your search ranking. This is where the related questions section is helpful. If you want to know more about the FAQ schema or markup, you can check out the video popping up at the top right. The link is in the description as well. Now, these questions by itself can be a topic in your article, or they can be put under the FAQ heading. Again, we'll talk more about this as we write the content. And finally, there are the suggested external links where Content AI recommends that you link to these articles. For this case, Content AI only suggested these links. We will talk more on the about and mention schema in a while. For now, let's start working on the structure of the content. In this step, you can use Content AI as a guide to help you structure your content. For example, with the keyword suggestions, let's select headings. Immediately, we can see that the article should talk about the types of cloth diapers, and we should also talk about the pros and cons of using cloth diapers. So in our content area, let's put in different types of cloth diapers. And let's set this as a heading. And you will see this keyword turning green. Next, we have the all-in-one cloth diapers. And this is a type of cloth diaper. So we can add it in the content and make it a subheading. Notice that this keyword has not turned green. That's because it is not an exact match. You should always choose to write proper English rather than satisfying the keyword suggestion. As long as they mean the same thing, that's good enough. And then we have the pros and cons of using cloth diapers. Same thing here, nothing has turned green, but that's okay. As long as they make grammatical sense and they mean the same thing as the suggested keywords. We also have this Bambino Meal all-in-one cloth diaper, which is a product of a brand. So since this article is about the best cloth diapers for babies, we can add a heading with the same keyword, best cloth diapers for babies. Make this a H2 heading where you will list all the diaper products as H3 headings. So Bambino Meal all-in-one cloth diaper. Let's click to copy this. Let's paste this here. Make sure that it is grammatically correct and make this a H3 heading. Now, through your research, make sure that this is the best product you recommend before listing it here. No point in listing anything here if you don't believe in it. Don't try to satisfy content AI if it doesn't make sense to you. That's what I want to get across. I've done some thorough research and these are the best cloth diapers. So I'm listing them here. I'll make them all into H3 headings. Next, let's go to the content keywords. As you can see, heavy wetters is a cool keyword to use. I have an idea to put this keyword at the top of the article. Whether you are looking for let's click the copy and let's paste it here, or you are looking for an alternative to save money on conventional diapers. Remember, smart and natural way of adding keywords instead of stuffing keywords. This sentence turns this keyword green. And if you look into the SEO description, it has turned this keyword green as well. Because by default, the first 160 characters of your content will be used as the SEO description. Let's go back to the content. I find this keyword interesting and it should be included as a heading. So let's click on this keyword right under the pros and cons. Let's paste the keyword here. Let's make it a H2 heading and make sure that it is grammatically correct. This is just for consistency. Now, I think this question should be more of a frequently asked question, but let's see if this question is part of the FAQ suggestion. Now, before we analyze the questions, let's add a heading, frequently asked questions, make this a H2 heading, and then let's click on this button to copy these questions as a FAQ block and paste the questions here. This will automatically add FAQ schema to these questions. And now we can analyze the questions. Which cloth diaper is best for baby? I think this is the main topic, shouldn't be part of the FAQ. So I will delete this. This is country specific, so I would not add this in. Let's delete this as well. This makes sense, so I will keep this question here. This makes sense too, I will keep it here. Now, let's cut this heading and include it in the FAQ block. Click on Add New FAQ and let's paste the question here. I've done some research and these are the questions that should be added on the FAQ block. Notice that these are relevant questions that people will often ask before buying cloth diapers. This is how you should add questions to your FAQ block. The FAQ section should allow you to answer questions that people often think before making a buying decision. The key is to help your site visitors move forward in the direction you wish them to go. And finally, we have the final thoughts. Now, from here, you can already optimize your content using Content AI. Under this heading count, as you can see, we have used 5 H2 headings, which is within the recommended, but we have gone way above the recommended on H3 headings. Let's see the entire content structure. Click on this info icon, and here we go. Does this content structure make sense to you? If it is, honestly, don't worry about the overuse of H3 at this moment. Take this as a suggestion and not a hard and fast rule. Now, if we are happy about this structure, let's start writing our content. Obviously, I would not have you sit for hours watching me write the content. I will fast forward the process, but you just have to be mindful of the keywords suggested to you from Content AI. And you should include them naturally into your content, just as I've shown you. Plus, the key is to provide your readers with value that they intended to get when visiting your article, and you want to give them more. Another thing I want to highlight to you is to try to write out a textbook style answer whenever you are answering a question with a topic heading. For example, how often should you wash your cloth diapers? Do not beat around the bush to extend the article length, like if your baby pooped and you can smell it across the room, take the cloth diaper out and start cleaning your baby's bum. Blah, blah, blah. You see, up to this point, you have not answered the question. So we recommend just going straight to the point like this. You should wash dirty cloth diapers immediately after 2 to 3 days to keep bacteria, molds, mildew, and germs from growing. Short and sweet. This may allow you to grab a featured snippet in case somebody searches for the keyword. Do this not only for the FAQ questions, but also for questions across the entire article. Have a textbook style answer right after the question, and then you can continue to write accordingly. As you continue to write your content, you will see your score increasing. And finally, when you have completed your article, it's time to optimize it for massive traffic. All right, for word count, I think we hit the mark. Again, don't try to write a bunch of fluff into your article to hit this word count. The focus of your content should be to help your readers gain value from your content and not to waste their time. Now, there are cases where it is almost impossible to include suggested optimizations at the current moment. Like, for example, the link count. For external links, to achieve 23 of them is easy. Just add relevant links to your content and we can easily hit this 23. As you can see, when I've added 19 external links, this audit is already turning green. So we are good on the external links. If this is orange, it indicates that you have partially passed. Red means failed, and dark red, as you can see from this heading section, suggests that it is overused. Anyway, for internal links, to hit 24 is kind of difficult, especially when your website is new, or you just don't have that amount of internal articles to link to. So this is an opportunity for you to discover new content topics to be written, and then later on to be added as an internal link to this article. For example, in this article, natural fibers could be a topic that my site can discuss. But at this moment, I don't have that article ready. So when I write an article that is related to natural fibers, I can add the internal link here. The key here is not to force anything onto the article just to make the metrics look nice. It should be as natural as possible. Heading count. We have discussed on this, but we can improve on it. As you can see, under the different types of cloth diapers, I don't think we necessarily need a H3 heading here because the explanation is short and there is not a whole lot to write about. So I think we can remove this H3 and make them bold. Let's do the same for the rest. It helps to reduce the number of H3 tags. Other than that, let's see what other tags we can reduce. All these do make sense, but I think I know where the problem is. For this FAQ block, by default, the questions are embedded with a H3 tag. We can change it to H4 tag because check out the content hierarchy. This is H2, the FAQ heading is H3. So naturally, all these question titles should be H4 headings. So if you click on this FAQ block and you click on the gear icon, these are all the settings for the FAQ block. And over here under title wrapper, as you can see, currently it is H3. We can turn that into H4. Let's head back to Content AI. We have drastically reduced the H3. From here, I don't think there is any other way to reduce H3. So from our article, it is inevitable that we have more H3 heading tags because we have more product recommendations and we provide a lot more depth to the topic. This is the best we can do for this optimization, in my opinion. In general, you do not need to follow the suggestions to a T. Make the effort to follow it, but if you can't, as long as your content makes sense and it is justified, then it is good to go. For the media count, we have added 13 images, which is within the range. As for the video, if you wish to add, for example, a YouTube video, you can do so here. But if not, if you think that an embedded video that is not from your brand will decrease your brand value, then don't add it. It is totally fine as well. And finally, there is one more thing I need to cover, which is the About and Mention schema. Now, the About and Mention schema. This is a feature from Rank Math Pro. And as you know, the purpose of schema markup is to allow search engines to better understand your content. So over at Content AI under links, remember we have talked about related external links. These suggested links here should give context to the search engines telling them what your content is about. For example, this 6 ways to fold a pre-fold diaper. This article is quite helpful and it adds value to this part of the article. So I'll copy the link and let's add the link here. You will notice that Rank Math provides you with 2 additional options, the Set to About and Set to Mentions. The key here to use About and Mention schema is to not only add these schemas to authoritative pages like Wikipedia and official website links, as search engines have a better understanding of the topics of these pages and it could relate to your content a lot better. So ask yourself, if this is an authoritative website and if the article enhances the value of your article, if yes, set this link with the About and Mention schema. The key difference between the About schema and the Mention schema is that the About schema should be marked for links that are directly related to the main topic of your article, whereas the mention schema is used on related topics. So in this case, I've determined that this is an authoritative website and that this link talks about a related topic of this article and not the main topic. So I will set this as mentions instead of about. So it really depends on your use case. All right, I think we have done our best on the content AI optimization.
Okay, so we are done with the presentation. Okay, can you guys see me?
Yes.
Okay, I see some questions coming here. Is the AI tool free or only for premium rank math? Content AI is meant for free and pro users. So it doesn't matter whether you have pro version of rank math, as long as you use rank math, the AI tool is for you. But the content AI runs through a credit system. So basically, you'll be given a set of, if you're a free user, you have 5 credits. And if you are a rank math pro user, I think it's around 15 credits you'll receive. And then it will, as if you're a pro user, every year you will receive 15 free credits. But if you run out of it, it's basically very cheap. It's it's around 34 cents per credit. Okay, I can leave a link later down below in this chat if you want to check out the content AI credit system. So that's basically it. And driving AI suggestions, okay, the AI suggestions, basically all these are generated through basically artificial intelligence. So there is no set rules. And like, for example, if I were to write a content and I were to do a research on content AI, and after a while, maybe like a couple of hours later, I try to re-optimize the content AI again. The data might be different because content AI analyzes what is already ranking at the top, right? What is already ranking right now. And Google always change their algorithm, like from in a day they can change a lot of times. So all the data is fresh, so it will always change. But what we suggest is once you optimize it, you don't need to re-optimize every second. Come back to your article, maybe 6 months, 3 to 6 months, or maybe a year to re-optimize it again, because that will be the biggest change. Okay. Does Google automatically? Another question is, does Google automatically recognize answers right after the questions? Okay, one moment. Okay, receive a message from Banu. So content AI uses a proprietary algorithm to generate the suggestions and using several methods, including scanning through the top results. Yep. Okay, does Google automatically recognize answers right after questions? The answer is, even if your answer is right down in the middle of the content, Google will still recognize it. But if you write the answer right above, it's suggesting to Google to read to get that into a featured snippet. So the position doesn't really matter, in my opinion, and Google will just recognize it. I'm pretty sure if you do some Google research and then you find out where the snippet is, sometimes it's at the middle of the article. Okay, what does the credit use for? So the credit used for analyzing the content, and it helps you. It guides you, as I've shown you. It guides you to create. It guides you to create the content. It can do a lot of suggestions for you and tell you what are the top factors that all these top ranking articles is is having. So all the commonalities, for example, what links do all these articles link to, and what do all these content users, all the keywords that this article uses. So that's what they are looking for. So the credit used for, as what I've shown you as well, all the questions and FAQs. So they will suggest to you all the FAQ questions that you should add to your article. So all in all, I think using content AI, it gives you like a kind of like, there's no certainty, but you can know that you have done your best optimizing your content for SEO.
Hey, Jack, this is Steve. First of all, I really enjoyed the video. I think it was done really well, so thank you.
Thank you.
What is one credit? For instance, I think Jack's asking the same question I'm asking. So what does one credit get you? Is it one credit per article? Is it one, if I had one credit left, what can I do with that?
Okay. If you have one credit left, okay, so as long as, okay, so here's how it works. So if you use the content AI, you generate, as long as you generate something from content AI, as long as you are requesting something from content AI and it suggests something to you, once they do that, they will store all the information onto your server. So you can use that data to create your content and to reference it. But every time you request something, like you regenerate you request another, you use another credit to request for new data. As long as there is some new data, they will a credit is used.
So it's not per article, it's
not per article. So technically speaking, when you are creating a content, you can use the content, the AI system multiple times. But we suggest that you just use one per article. And after like a couple of months or years, you can come back to the article and use another credit to find out what is the latest data.
So for instance, on the example you gave about the baby diapers, and you have I think you put a list of like 10 diapers that you recommend. If I was going to write individual articles on each one of those 10 products, right, go into more depth about them, am I using a credit for each one, you think, or am I using the same credit because it's the same?
Okay, it depends. It depends. Like for example, you're writing a listicle style in my example, right? And then you create another content that goes specifically into the specific product. So in that sense, right, you are basically targeting a different set of keyword. So you're targeting a product review keyword instead of the top 10 baby diapers. So in that sense, you are right, targeting a new keyword. You should use a credit to get the latest data.
Got it. So Jack's asking, how many credits did that example use in the demo? How many credits you did? One.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. And Michelle's asking, how do you gain credits back? I don't know if you get them back, but do you get them back, or do you just have to get more?
You just have to get more.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will say this credit thing is generated a lot of questions. So.
So one credit is basically okay. Let me see. I think it's about 34 cents per credit, but you buy it first is one moment. Let me find out. So one credit is around 34 cents. You buy once, which is about $19, and it gives you, what is that link? Banu, can you send the link over? I think there is one on the chat here.
You can share your screen to show the pricing to everyone. That will ease the process, and maybe you can simply use a demo website so that you can run them through the process again, where to enter the keyword and which button to press to generate the automated content.
Okay, just one minute.
While you're doing that, I'm asking another question. What languages does the AI support?
What language? Vanu, can you?
Is it American English is the only language it supports right now?
It supports over 34 or 64 languages. Let me just link you to the article where you can find the languages that are being supported currently, and we are constantly adding more languages to it.
Wow, that's impressive. Nice.
Okay. So let me share my screen. Okay, can you guys see?
Yes.
Okay, so 50 credits costs $19, which is 34 cents per credit. And then if you buy more, this is it will get cheaper. And I believe this is 22 cents.
Great. I think I do feel like there's still some confusion on exactly what the AI what it does. Not to make a joke, but you may want to do an FAQ on credits, and that may be helpful. But yeah, I think the AI was awesome, and it was really powerful, and based upon what I see in the chat, it seems like everyone really liked it. So that was great. That was really great. Again, I think the only question is the credits and what you know what they're used for, and you know, I what happens if I run out of credit like in the middle of writing an article, you know, or you know, so just a thought. But really exciting stuff, as Jack says. That was great.
Yeah, I really think it can guide you to do a lot of things. Like it will tell you basically what keywords you should focus on. Like for example, in the example, right, it tells you that a lot of people are searching for the Bambino Mio kind of the product. So that is kind of what is needed in the article itself.